What's up guys, this is Massey. Welcome to another video. In this video I want to talk about finding precise value of the limit. I'm going to give you 4 examples and I want to find out the limit L, then find out delta greater than 0 such that the absolute value of f of x minus L less than 0.01 whenever the absolute value of x minus c is between 0 and delta. Let's see the first example. First example, it says limit of 3x plus 2 when x is approaching 2. If we want to find out the limit first, we're going to say that 3 times 2 plus 2, which is going to be 6 plus 2, and that's going to be 8. So L is 8 in this case. So we're going to say that f of x minus L, which in this case is going to be 3x plus 2 minus 8, that has to be less than 0.01. That will be 3x minus 6 less than 0.01, which will be, you factor 3, you take it out, is going to be 3 times absolute value of x minus 2 less than 0.01. Then you can say that x minus 2 will be between 0 and 0.01 over 3, which is going to be approximately 0.0033. That's the delta. So we're going to say that if x minus 2, the absolute value between 0 and 0.01 over 3, then we can say that 3 times x minus 2 is less than 0.01, and then we can say that the absolute value of 3x minus 6 is less than 0.01, 3x plus 2 minus 8 less than 0.01. And finally, we can prove that f of x minus L is going to be less than 0.01. So that's basically how we show it. So we needed to find out the limits and also find out the delta, which in this case is going to be approximately 0.0033. Let's see the next example. Next example, it says limit of 6 minus x over 3 when x is approaching 6. Let's find out the limit first. It's going to be 6 minus 6 over 3, which is going to be 6 minus 2, and that's going to be equal to 4. And L equals to 4. The absolute value of f of x minus L has to be less than 0.01, which means that 6 minus x over 3 has to be less than L. The L value we found out is 4, has to be less than 0.01. Then we simplified. 6 minus 4 is going to be 2. So 2 minus x over 3 is going to be less than 0.01. And then we factor negative 1 over 3. That's going to be x minus 6 less than 0.01. And then we can basically multiply it by 3, and then negative is going to be positive, so x minus 6 is going to be less than 0.03. So in this case, delta is going to be 0.03. So delta is 0.03, so that has to be less than 0.03 in order to have the limit. Let's see the next example. Next example, it says limit of x squared minus 3 when x is approaching 2. Again, if you want to evaluate the limits, you're going to say 2 to the power of 2 minus 3 is going to be 4 minus 3 equals to 1. So L is 1. So you're going to say x squared minus 3 minus 1 has to be less than 0.01, which means that x squared minus 4 is going to be less than 0.01. So when you factor this, x minus 2 times x plus 2 less than 0.01. So if you separate them, you're going to say that the absolute value of x minus 2 times the absolute value of x plus 2 has to be less than 0.01. Since x is approaching 2, we're going to say that the absolute value of x minus 2 is going to be less than 0.01 over absolute value of x plus 2. Now, if you assume that, since x is approaching 2, if you assume that x is between 1 and 3, then we can say that that's going to be delta equals to 0.01 over 5, which is going to be 0.002. So we can say that the absolute value of x minus 2 has to be less than 0.002. So the delta is 0.002. Let's see the next example. Here it says limit of x squared plus 6 when x is approaching 4. If you want to evaluate it, we're going to say 4 squared plus 6. That's going to be 16 plus 6, and that's going to be 22. So the L value is 22. F of x minus L has to be less than 0.01. So x squared plus 6 minus 22 has to be less than 0.01. And then you can say that x squared minus 6 minus 22 is going to be 16 less than 0.01, which means that x plus 4, x minus 4 less than 0.01. So that will be x minus 4, 0.01, x plus 4. So if you assume, since x is approaching 4, if you assume x is between 3 and 5, you need to assume 5 in here, so it's going to be delta is going to be 0.01 over 5 plus 4, which is going to be 9, and when you calculate it, it's going to be 0.00111. So delta is going to be 0.00111. So that's the delta. X minus 4 has to be less than this number in order to have the limit. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a comment if you have any question, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You can have access to many other videos regarding limits and other topics in calculus, physics, and chemistry. Thank you for watching and have a great day.